Denis Villeneuve, the director of Dune and Dune Part 2, has completely blown Brie Larson's entire meltdown theory out of the water in this absolutely epic interview that we're going to be checking out here, and with the release of Dune and Dune Part 2. So this is what he had to say. I had to make a difficult choice. Denis Villeneuve blows Brie Larson's women-hating fanboys claim in Dune 2 with Léa Seydoux and the Bene Gesserit. And if you guys haven't seen Dune Part 2 yet, I highly recommend it. I just went and saw it a couple days ago, and the film completely blew my mind. People are absolutely loving this film, and when the film was done, I was just left there speechless. I was just like, this was an incredible experience. I got to see in an IMAX as well, which I highly recommend if you are able to. But if you go see any movie this year, Dune Part 2 might be the film that is worth seeing in theaters. And we've seen Brie Larson and other people like Samuel L. Jackson, who was simping for Brie Larson, say all sorts of absolutely insane things about the fans who did not like or support her Marvel movies with Captain Marvel and everything else. So Samuel L. Jackson defends Marvel co-star Brie Larson against sexism from incel dudes.
She's not going to let any of that stuff destroy her. Wow, she's so stunning and brave, guys. Oh my gosh.
So this is what they had to say about this, and this stuff is absolutely disgusting, what they have to say.
And I'm also saying I don't hate white dudes. I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. And for the third time, I don't hate white dudes. These are just facts.
For the third time, she doesn't hate white dudes. Just keep that in mind, everyone. But Samuel L. Jackson went on to talk about this, saying she's not going to let any of that stuff destroy her. These incel dudes who hate strong women are the fact that she's a feminist who has an opinion and expressed it. Everybody wants people to be who they want them to be. She is who she is, and she's genuinely that. And so we've seen this happen a lot over the past few years, where if the fans have a lot of backlash towards a film, we saw it happen with Indiana Jones 5 as well from last year, then suddenly it's because they are sexist and they hate women and all of this type of stuff, which of course is just absolutely ridiculous and insane. But Denis Villeneuve has completely blown all of that out of the water. Denis Villeneuve pointed out that he de-emphasized the role of the Spacing Guild and human-computer mentats because he wanted to leave room for the Bene Gesserit's role to be sufficiently impactful. And he of course had to talk about, you know, the fact that he was making a film based on a very large book, and so because of that he had to of course prioritize some things that were from the book over other things, which totally makes sense from anybody who understands how film works or anything. Like, this happens with pretty much any adaptation. It even happened with Lord of the Rings, which is one of the best adaptations probably of all time of any sort of book, especially an epic book on this type of scale. But Denis Villeneuve went on to say this: when you adapt, you transform in some ways. It's a very harsh process of where you transform something. My adaptation of Dune is about the Bene Gesserit. Someone could have made a Dune adaptation about the Mentats or about the Guild Navigators. I focused the adaptation of the first book mainly on the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, and that informs all the choices I've made. And that plays very well into the film adaptations. Minor character from the novels, Lady Fenring is given front and center stage in the second movie, which I wouldn't really say that. She's not really given that much of a presence, but with Lady Fenring and the rest of the Bene Gesserit, Villeneuve has successfully managed to squash the idea that men don't like to watch powerful women characters on screen. Not that necessarily needed to be squashed, because that was never the narrative in the first place. That is just a narrative that some of these people, like Brie Larson, like some of the other feminists out there, have been trying to push for a while now, is that men don't go up, audiences don't go to see female movies because they hate women and all of this type of stuff. But all of that narrative is now completely gone. You can just crumple it up and toss it out the window, because this is just another example that proves that narrative wrong. This is one among many examples. I mean, I could list off dozens of examples that prove that entire narrative wrong, but Dune Part 2 does yet again another service towards the fact that this whole narrative pushed by Hollywood celebrities is completely false. The debate after the Marvels about women-hating fanboys being the reason for its downfall is being squandered by the Dune women, who are brilliantly written and portrayed on the screen, something the MCU is failing to do. People just want good characters. At the end of the day, that is all that matters. So with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you've seen Dune Part 2, let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.